Hello everybody, welcome to this week's science experiment demonstration. Today we're going to practice being scientists by using the scientific method. We're going to make predictions and test them out using experiments. For this experiment you're going to need a few items. First you're going to need a tub filled with water. Then you will need 4 different objects that you're going to test out. The first of them being a plastic ball, the second is an ice cube, then you're going to need a toothpick, and finally a coin. Before you actually begin setting up the experiment, you're going to first want to take a look at the data sheet on your Ohana guide, where you're going to see pictures of all the 4 different objects that you have, and you're going to let your child make predictions about whether they believe each object will sink or float in the water. Once the predictions have been made, you can now begin the experiment. Begin by dropping each object one at a time in the water and observing whether each object sinks or floats. And then record your observations into the data sheet in the column next to where you made the prediction. Finally, at the bottom of the page, write down your final conclusions about whether each object sinks or floats, based on what your experiment showed. And make sure your child understands that even if their prediction was incorrect, it's completely fine, because what really matters in scientific experiments is what we end up learning. That's all for this week's experiment. I hope you had a great time. Thank you all for watching and see you all next week.